Alright, so one of the most awaited match of the season, El-Clasico, just happened. And yes, we have seen more intense encounters between both the teams, but it still was a fiery match between Barcelona and Real Madrid, understanding the fact that both the teams are in a period of transition and the young players we saw on the field today will create some heated rivalries in future. Anyways, here's a quick recap before we talk about my takeaways from the match. The match started and it was some back and forth for the first 5 minutes before İlkay Gündoğan out of nowhere scored the first goal in the 6th minute of the game. It was the fastest goal scored in Clasico since 2014. Anyways, this goal was not the most attractive one. It was a defensive error from Real Madrid and Gündoğan was through, and David Alaba still had the chance to clear the ball, but he hit that straight to Gündoğan's leg, who then gently passed the ball to the right side of the net. I'll give it to Gündoğan for being positive while going forward and believing that he will get the chance to score. His experience showed there. This goal gave a lot of confidence to Barcelona, who were able to move the ball according to their will and dominated the first half. They almost doubled their lead when Gavi snatched the ball from Toni Kroos just outside the box and gave it to Fermin Lopez, who had a good attempt but ball hit the post. Madrid did not have any clear-cut chances. I could only remember an attempt from Kroos which was over the bar, and in the first half they did not test Barca defenders, or ter Stegen for that matter. Now Madrid started second half with intent. They were trying to get the ball over the top of defenders to Rodrigo and Vinicius, who were creating some problems, but there was no end product. Rodrigo hasn't really performed well in the season, and Vinicius also struggled for the most part of the game, but Madrid were looking like a better side in the second half. Barca had some attempts here and there. I remember Joao Felix dribbled past Rudiger and could have scored the goal, but Carvajal stopped him just before taking a shot. He is having a good season and performed well in this Clasico as well. A major change in momentum happened when Modric came in. I'll give it to Ancelotti for his substitutions, man. Camavinga and Joselu also brought a different dynamic to the game. Madrid on the ball were looking good now. And then Jude Bellingham happened. There were like 20 minutes left in the clock and he scored a banger from 30 yards out against one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. What can I say about him, dude? He's performing so well. I've already made a video on him before, and honestly I feel like talking about him after every game he plays. And while looking at the first goal, I had this kind of feeling in my mind that in future when we look back at this goal, we will remember this as a moment when Bellingham became Real Madrid legend. Like the video if you agree with me. Anyways, Barca brought in players like Rafinha, Lewandowski, who were injured before this match, and they never looked like they were gonna score. The way match was going, it actually felt like Madrid's comeback was on the cards, and the inevitable happened in the 92nd minute. Modric did well to keep the ball under control. After receiving the ball from Carvajal, he bounces the ball over Martinez's head to find Bellingham, who then slots the ball in from point blank range and did his trademark celebration in front of Barcelona fans. And like that, Madrid won the first Clasico of the season. Now a few talking points. The first one is, both the teams were not at their best. And I seriously believe that if Barca had Pedri and Frankie de Jong, their performance would have been better. Now same can be said about Real Madrid as well, because they missed Courtois and Militao in the defense, both starters, and their inclusion also would have been a different story. But I'd say that Barca's injury struggles were bigger than Madrid's. And also looking at the stats, there's not much to choose between both the teams. So for Barca fans, it's not all doom and gloom. Your team's gonna improve. My second point is, Vinicius and Rodrigo were not up to their standards. Now why I say this is because Benzema left and Madrid do not have a proper number 9. There is a lot of responsibility in their shoulders now, and they have shown in the past what they can do, but we have to agree that for this season, it has only been Jude Bellingham in the attack. Now just imagine if Vinicius can get his form back and Rodrigo wakes up from his slumber, they can massively improve Madrid's attack. Third point, Gavi. Listen, I see a lot of people saying, what does Gavi do? He's not that good in the attack, he keeps fighting and stuff like that. What Gavi does is he gets the ball from the opposition. No matter what, wherever the ball is, whoever loses the ball, Gavi will be there to fight and get the ball back. And he also sometimes finds him in good spaces and has potential to score goals as well. Today was not the best for any Barca player, but I'd say Gavi was up there, maybe along with Fermin Lopez. One more point I would like to highlight is, Barca cannot put all their trust in the youngsters. No doubt they have great talents coming out of their academy, but they would need some time to polish their skills. And if they want to challenge in La Liga and Champions League, they will have to have their experienced players performing. And lastly, I would say that this Clasico is not the La Liga title decider in any way. Of course, it sets Madrid in a positive momentum, but we can see both teams struggling in different aspects of the game. As I said before, it was an exciting match, but not the best Clasico we have seen. Both the teams have to improve on their flaws and have to step up a notch if they want to win the La Liga and challenge for the Champions League title. And that will be my take on the first El-Clasico of the season. Let me know your thoughts, like the video, and subscribe to Football Ledger for football stories on a regular basis.